Did the Congress try to stoke one more EVM controversy? What really happened in this latest sensational revelations claimed by the Midday newspaper? As a matter of fact, things have become so serious that the returning officer has actually sent a notice. It could be even an FIR at Midday for mischievous reporting. What exactly was mischievous about it? I'm going to show you by the use of a slide deck. So, small request to all of you, please like this video. And the reason I ask you to like the video at the beginning, because some of you have a very valid question. You ask, how do I know if I'm going to like this video or not? Then why are you asking me to like it right at the beginning? I will like it if I like it at the end. What happens is, many of these videos of ours, because these are truth bombs, they tend to get reported a lot. And this is not somebody manually typing the report. They are programmed, and all you need to do is to enter the YouTube link, and these bots go into action and they start complaining about our videos from all over the world. The only way for us to counter that is to have a very high like count at the very beginning of the video, because that would tell the engine that, look, many people are liking this. And that is an effective counter against these bots who are trying to reduce our reach. If you don't like our video at the end of it, please feel free to dislike it. We have no problem with that. This is the reason why we ask you to like it at the very beginning. I hope I made myself clear. Thank you. Today, that is the 16th of June, I'm still on 16th of June in the United States. There was a big story in Sunday Midday. This is from Mumbai. 𝗣𝗂𝘁 had phone that unlocks EVM. First of all, lots of mistakes here, but let me just tell you what happened. 𝗣𝗂𝘁, who was a Shiv Sena Shinde group MP candidate, defeated his nearest rival by 48 votes, 4-8. Okay. Now, what happens is, in some constituencies, they count the postal ballots first and then they go to EVM. In some, they do the EVM first and then they count the postal ballots. In this case, the postal ballots got counted after the EVM. Okay, so here's what played out after that. Mangesh Pandilkar, the brother-in-law of Ravindra 𝗣𝗂𝘁, NDA, the newly elected Mumbai Northwest Lok Sabha MP, was booked. Why? He was allegedly using a mobile phone at a counting center. The incident took place on June 4 when the 2024 Lok Sabha election results were announced. The incident occurred at Nesco Center, Goregaon, within 𝗣𝗂𝘁's constituency. The complaint was made by polling personnel Dinesh Gurav, an independent candidate who noticed Pandilkar using a mobile phone, violating the ban on such devices at the counting center. So it looks like there is a ban. You cannot take your cell phones into the counting place. The candidate alerted the returning officer. The returning officer subsequently approached Vandrai police. The investigation also revealed that the electronically transmitted postal ballot system, ETPBS, for service voters used after the EVM machines was unlocked and using the same phone and OTP. During the counting of votes through the EVM machines, the candidate Amol Kirtikar was ahead, but when the counts on the electronically transmitted postal ballot system were counted, Kirtikar lagged behind, eventually losing the race to 𝗣𝗂𝘁. Why I say the heading was mischievous in this Midday article is that it says unlocks EVM. It was not unlocking the EVM. It was unlocking nothing. It just happened to get a message on the phone. Now, police now have sent the mobile phone to the forensic science laboratory to find the mobile phone data and also are taking fingerprints that are on the phone. Reacting to the news, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi wrote on X, EVMs in India are a black box and nobody is allowed to scrutinize them. Serious concerns are being raised about transparency in our electoral process. Democracy ends up being a sham and prone to fraud when institutions lack accountability. Interesting use of words. Well, then what happened? The Election Commission rejected allegations of EVM tampering in this Lok Sabha seat, stating that the EVM is a foolproof stand-alone device with no provision for communication. I have done an extensive EVM security monologue where I had told you the way you can actually alter the outcome is not using the EVM itself, but things around it. For example, if everybody is in on the game, one candidate bribes everybody, including the booth agents of other party people, as well as the returning the officer in charge in the booth. If everybody comes on the same plate, then everybody gets paid, and these guys go and look at all the uncast votes and they just go and click it on a particular party symbol. This has been the modus operandi that some parties have used in the past. In a press conference, returning officer Vandana Suryavanshi said that voting machines do not require an OTP to function. The returning officer said a complete lie was being spread by the newspaper, which some leaders are using to create a false narrative. One thing, lies spread faster than the truth. There is no OTP on mobile for unlocking EVM, as it is non-programmable and it has no wireless communication capabilities. It's a complete lie being spread by a newspaper, which is being used by some leaders to create a false narrative. Now, we have talked about this before. EVMs are actually running off of a read-only memory. So there's no writable memory even. There's no way to influence it because no external interfaces are enabled on this. No Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. Advanced technical features and robust administrative safeguards are in place. We know these things, right? Now you can ask, what about the one on which he got the OTP? Well, the ETPBS counting is actually physical ballot papers, and that every booth agent gets to see. So there is no way that can interfere with the count. Every counting sheet at every table for ETPBS and EVM counting and postal ballot counting, including ETPBS, is signed by all counting agents after due diligence. RO is proceeding against Midday newspaper for spreading rumors, maligning Indian voters and the electoral system. I salute the returning officer for acting quickly on this. In the meantime, there was another controversy that was raging on X. Elon Musk asked some questions about the electronic voting machines. In my opinion, I think he meant about what is happening or what played out in the election in the 2020 US presidential election. Now, he has given a long interview, and in that, Elon Musk said that I don't know what happened, but something happened. Some rigging happened. That was his claim. He wasn't saying that it was because of this or it was because of that. But recently on X, he said that EVMs could be hacked. Well, it depends upon where the EVM is manufactured. If he's talking in general about the world, then he has to be more specific before claiming that this can be hacked or that can be hacked, or a particular model, a particular version of the software that could be hacked. I had told in my book, fictional book, Who Painted My State Purple, which is about US and about the US elections, I had said how some EVMs in the United States store your vote as a floating point number. What that means is, this is a computerese, but it's easy to follow for you. Supposing I put one vote inside the computer. Let's say I put one vote for red symbol. Something, red is one of the candidates, right? Symbol of one of the candidates. I put one vote for that. The way that EVM, that particular EVM stores it is 1.00. Okay. Supposing somebody else puts another vote for red, it becomes 2.00. Now, supposing there is software in this particular EVM that weights the numbers one way or the other. Let us say it says for every 100 on red, count it as 106. So there is an excess adjustment of 6 votes. For every 100 on the blue, count 6 less, so that the total count doesn't change. Because when the total count doesn't change, it raises fewer suspicions. I'm just saying this is possible, assuming that the software itself is hackable, or the software is programmed in a certain way, or the software is connecting to an internet. All these things are there. If. All these things don't apply to India's EVMs. That's why I told you that one mistake that can happen is that when there is a clerk who's writing down the numbers from each booth, if he makes a mistake, then that cannot be checked because everybody assumes All the booth agents here 116, but he writes it as 160 because 116 and 160 sound close, right? So if something like that happens, that could alter the result. But overall, in the EVM, the counting process is rock solid. No doubts about that. So for Elon's tweet, Rajiv Chandrasekhar puts on his engineer's cap, and then he gives a very engineering reply, and he says that, it's not possible here, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, anything can be hacked. This is a general electronic engineer's reply. So back to where we are. Notwithstanding the comments by Elon Musk or the response by Rajiv Chandrasekhar, this, in my opinion, was a deliberate mischief played by Midday. Maybe the writer who wrote it or the fan who wrote the headline did not understand what he was writing or she was writing. It could have been an unintended mistake, but what played out was a huge controversy, at least for 24 hours. Hopefully, this will die down tomorrow. This is why I'm trying to get ahead of some of these controversies. Anand Ranganathan, 2 days ago, I came and gave a very strong rebuttal, and in support of Anand Ranganathan, things have died down. Same way, this also should die down. But please forward this video to many of your WhatsApp groups, social media groups, Facebook, Meta, Insta, this, that, wherever you are. And hopefully people understand the real thing that is at play here. Thank you. Namaskar.